Good morning, KMMA friends, family, tribe. Happy Monday. I hope you are ready to make this an amazing week as I am. This will be short and sweet because I have got a jam-packed Monday, starting with a 9:30 meeting with one of my most favorite people. So I will get to the point relatively quickly. And I will tell you ahead of time what that is. I want to talk to you about some simple, not easy principles that can get us whatever we want, get you whatever you want, get me whatever I want, right? And then I want to talk about how to make them easier. That's actually the point of this thing. But I have a couple other little things that are going to lead us there. And first, I just want to talk with gratitude because I always start with an attitude of gratitude. And this morning, I was thinking about the seminar this weekend and how great that went. Master instructors that came out to enjoy me and all the great students that came out to enjoy it. And since that seminar was about kind of reflecting upon our journeys in the martial arts, it was really, really great for me to think about all the things I've had to be grateful for over the last 40 years as a martial artist and the last 22 doing this for a living. But it was especially edifying for me to watch, once kids, and even the ones that didn't start as kids, once babies in the martial arts that have come up as my students, speaking to today's students as the master instructors that they are. That was so awesome. And then yesterday I got to ride out and watch speaking of masters, my fifth degree black belt son, Shian Harley, had a jiu-jitsu tournament. It's so awesome because, he's been doing what we do for, decades now and, all his life basically. And he's amazing master instructor at it. And so he wanted to do something very, very different, just to start over again and have that white belt experience again. And I'm very proud of him for that. He did great, won his first match and lost his second, but followed the principle, the rules that we apply here. Had fun, did his best, and learned something new. His coach is doing a great job there. By the way, that's a longtime friend of mine. We've been friends for decades as well. And that's Hanshi John Gaston, and he runs a school in Citrus Park. If you're looking for jiu-jitsu, I highly recommend him because he's just a great martial artist and a great man of character as well. And then I walked into my dojo today, and it was just beautiful and clean and organized and everything like it is every weekend. And I am grateful for my beautiful dojo, but also for Elvia who helps make that happen. And she does the deep cleaning once a week. All right, getting right into today, I want to share some specific lessons. I was listening to my mentor, Jim Rohn, this morning during my personal, professional development and prayer time. And because, by the way, after the personal professional development, I prayed to God to help me do the things. Like, for example, one of the principles is that we can have more because we can become more. We can become the person that we need to be. And he goes into details on that. But it's being the person that you need to be in all the ways that attract the specific areas of success that matter. Second note that I put was, self-confidence comes from the small daily disciplines. Willingness to do whatever it takes to achieve and to rise upon the circumstances. Jim Rohn, my mentor, Jim Rohn, by the way, I've never met him in person. So sometimes when I say my mentor, they're actually people who I've been friends with and in real life, like martial arts instructors or military leaders that helped develop my philosophy and raise me up. And I always give them credit, but there's also the ones that I never met. Isn't it great that we have technology such that we can hear the lessons of Jim Rohn or read the lessons of Jim Rohn and others like him that have long since passed on? If we embrace such things, then we're embracing that principle of becoming more. I would say that reading and listening to the teachings in the seminars are one of the things that have helped me to become the best and highest version of myself to date, and that will help me to become the best and highest version of myself for what's important next. Wow, these burn lines are pretty bad from yesterday's ride. Well, excuse that. And so he talks about the importance of how much changing our daily discipline is really all that it is, right? In fitness, look, we know what we really have to do. We just have to be disciplined to do it. In relationships, in business, in finance, in all the things. And by the way, in all the things, there have been things that I that I personally embraced and got down and took action upon quickly and have had great success, and other ones that I've struggled with over the years, and because I keep stumbling and have to try again because don't get the lesson quickly enough. So today, what I really wanted to do, because all of these principles, I'm not even going into the specifics of all the principles. That's not the purpose of today's message. My meditation was, what are some of the simple things that we can do to take that which is simple, not easy, and that means I understand the principle and the concept. It's just not easy for me, for you, for the student to apply. And I just made a little note based on answering that question, and it's only 3 or 4 simple things. The first one is to embrace what we call the law of the process, right? To embrace that excellence happens daily, but not in a day. So when we begin the new discipline, when we begin the new habit, when we develop the new process, we have to work it diligently over time, and we have to have the patience and the understanding that things won't get better overnight, but they will get better if we stay focused on the discipline, right? There's a great book called The Compound Effect, if you've never read it, and it talks about this. So the slide edge is the same. Either one of those talk about the fact that you can make little bitty differences that will move us in a very positive or a very negative direction based on those daily disciplines. Again, simple, not easy. But number one, I believe, is embracing that, understanding that you're not going to see the changes overnight in any of the areas, that it takes discipline over time. The second one, I think, is what we talk about as the 10-90 rule, that life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we react to it. That's one of the ways to embrace what Jim Rohn was talking about when he talked about rising above the circumstances. What he says is that, the things that happen to us happen to all of us. It's the wind. They're the things out there. He says the things that make winners, leaders different is they just adjust the set of the cells. And I think this is the 10-90 principle that we teach here at Krav Maga Martial Arts, that life is 10% what happens and 90% how we react to what happens. And that's even more important than what happens, right? We can't be dependent on the things out there. We have to be dependent on ourselves and our ability to proact, act, and react in appropriate ways. I think that the next thing is that it's very, very wise to have mentors and coaches in the areas that we know that we want to get better and that we're having a hard time. Sometimes it's because they'll teach you the thing that you don't know, right? So some of it is for the knowledge, but just as much it's for the accountability and the coaching and the inspiration and the motivation, so that the KMMA team can help you become a great black belt leader, so that a business coach can help you become better in your business, or a fitness coach can help you become better in your fitness. Relationship coach can help you, right? So there's that, getting the right mentors and coaches that can help you. And then I think ultimately, and I guess maybe I kind of already spoke of this a little bit in the law of the process, but it's about the long-term vision. It's a little beyond just the law of the process. The law of the process is understanding and embracing the idea that excellence happens daily, but not in a day. Long-term vision, I'm talking about we have to have a compelling vision and a compelling tomorrow that we believe in, that's pulling us towards it, so that when the going gets tough, the tough get going. Speaking of which, I got to get going. My 9:30 meeting's probably waiting on me. Make it a super Monday and a super week. Prepare to live, empower to lead. See you soon.